when the clock struck 4 p.m. on Tuesday Eastern Standard Time, signifying the start of the new NFL season, man, did chaos ensue. And I mean complete, utter chaos. You had two players retire, Jake Locker, Patrick Willis. Eagles trade Nick Foles. And what surprised me the most was the New Orleans Saints traded away Jimmy Graham. And that is definitely a head scratcher. But there were plenty more transactions that took place. And all that free agency movement literally broke the internet. There were so many different trades, signings, re-signings. It was just overwhelming as a football fan, but also exciting. But already after day one of free agency, I can't lie, I wish the season started next month. Welcome back to the Best Damn Sports Blog. Back again to talk NFL because we all know free agency is officially underway for the 2015 season. And there's been a lot of chaos to start off the free agency period. And there's one trade specifically that I want to speak on, and that would be the Eagles trading away Nick Foles in exchange for Sam Bradford. And there's also 3 picks between the two teams included in the trade. But the main pieces are Sam Bradford to Philly and Nick Foles to St. Louis. And when I heard about this trade, I couldn't help but laugh and think, what is Chip Kelly doing? Like, what is he doing? You trade away Nick Foles, who in 2013 finished with 27 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. Yes, last year he had 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions before getting injured. But the Eagles were 6-2 with Nick Foles. And under Chip Kelly, with Nick Foles as a starter, the Eagles are 14-4. So now within the past 2 seasons as being head coach in Philly, he has gotten rid of Nick Foles, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, and Michael Vick. And not to mention Jeremy Maclin didn't re-sign either. All of his dynamic players are gone. But what was most puzzling about this Nick Foles for Sam Bradford swap is that Chip Kelly traded for Sam Bradford. This is a player who lost 30 of his last 49 starts, and over the last 2 seasons, he's missed 25 games because of torn ACL injuries. Not an injury, injuries. He's injured his ACL twice within the past 2 seasons. And I'm just thinking, like, I know Chip Kelly is not going into next year with Mark Sanchez and Sam Bradford as his 2 quarterbacks. You have to think this trade was made in order for Philly to be able to acquire Marcus Mariota. But then I read the back page for Wednesday's Philadelphia Daily News, and it reads, "This helps how? Trade of Foles for Rams injury-prone quarterback doesn't get Eagles any closer to Mariota." That's the headline for the back page of the Philly Daily News. So now, when I read that, now I'm really puzzled. If the Philadelphia Daily News doesn't think this gets Philly any closer, then why should I assume that this gets Philly any closer to Marcus Mariota? I mean, when you think about it, what team would want to take on Sam Bradford's $13 million next year to give away the draft pick? The New York Jets was the team that we've been hearing rumors about that they would trade with. But now that they've gotten rid of Foles, I don't see New York wanting Sam Bradford to go along with Geno Smith in New York. But as far as this trade goes for the Eagles, it looks like Chip Kelly has just put Philadelphia in a big mess for the foreseeable future. No LaShawn McCoy. As of right now, no quarterback. Unless he is able to land Marcus Mariota, I don't really see any hope for this franchise, at least for next year or maybe even 2 years. And Marcus Mariota is not a for sure thing on the next level. He's just Chip Kelly's guy. Chip Kelly coached him at Oregon, so now he assumes he can plug him in his system here in the NFL, and they will have the same success that they had at Oregon. And that's how he is running this NFL franchise, as if this is the Oregon Ducks. And if I was Philadelphia's owner, I would expect results next season from Chip Kelly because you've gotten rid of Nick Foles, Deshaun Jackson, LaShawn McCoy, and he let Maclin get away. I would be saying I want to see production if I was the owner of Philadelphia. I've given you everything you wanted. Now give me W's. Give me a playoff appearance. A 5-11, a 6-10 season is a no-go for next year. I would not be with that. Chip Kelly wanted to have things his way, and he has them. Now produce. Now, as for the Rams, I like this trade a lot for the Rams because I'm a big believer in Nick Foles. Like I said, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in 2013. Last year, he had 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, but he did have the Eagles off to a 6-2 start. And in comparison to Sam Bradford, Nick Foles seems to be the better quarterback. Looking at win percentage, Sam Bradford's at 37. Nick Foles is at 62. Now, teams can have something to do with that, but completion percentage, Sam Bradford 59, Nick Foles 62%. Yards per attempt, Bradford 6.3, Nick Foles 7.6. Total QBR, Bradford 41, Nick Foles 59. So Nick Foles is the better quarterback, and on top of that, he is the cheaper quarterback. Getting rid of Sam Bradford saves the Rams $13 million against their cap. So not only was this a trade to get rid of Sam Bradford and start fresh, this was a trade to save money against the cap. And I don't blame the Rams at all. Bradford has been injury prone. He's cost them a lot of money. And I wish the best for Sam Bradford. But Nick Foles is also the better quarterback and the cheaper quarterback. So that's just business. And as for the team, I think this has improved their team a lot, especially if Nick Foles is as good as I believe he is, which is a second-tier type of quarterback. And if he is, with San Francisco most likely taking a step back, I think they can make some noise in the NFC West. I don't believe they'll make the playoffs because that's still a tough division. I don't think San Francisco will be terrible, but I think the Rams have a chance to finish second in the NFC West, maybe win 9 or 10 games. It all depends on how good Nick Foles is and the weapons that they put around him. We already know the Rams have a stout defensive line, and their defense is good overall. But now it all just comes down to Nick Foles and the offense.